It started with a letter, a warning, a demand, but what came next was something no bylaw could explain. You're listening to Horrificial. The notice arrived at dawn. Every front door in Oak Valley Estates was getting the same soft knock. When Daniel Kersey opened his, a faint heat blew across his face even though it was barely sunrise. The air smelled like burnt paper. Pinned neatly to his door was a white envelope, stamped with the HOA insignia, interlocking circles that shimmered faintly in the dim light. Inside, one line was printed in a perfect, serif font: community reset. Phase 1 begins at sundown. Please remain calm, compliance ensures survival. Daniel frowned. Reset? Across the street, Mrs. Godfrey, his elderly neighbor, was standing on her porch in her nightgown, squinting at the same letter. The Jones kids, twin boys, were riding their bikes in small circles, crunching something soft under their tires. Ash, not dust. Not pollen. Ash falling gently from a clear sky. Oak Valley Estates had always looked too perfect. Symmetrical lawns, matching shutters, mailboxes lined up like soldiers. Daniel and Claire had moved here for peace. Their daughter Lucy had learned to ride her bike on the flawless asphalt. But lately, strange things had crept in. Daniel woke at night to the sound of whispering sprinklers that weren't on. The streetlights flickered, in rhythm, like breathing, and there was the HOA president, Mr. Fallow, always smiling, always watching. Daniel had once joked at a cookout, "You're the big brother of suburbia." Fallow's grin hadn't moved. Big brother keeps things clean. That morning, neighbors gathered in small knots on the street. Probably some maintenance thing, said Carl from 18 Wexler, holding his coffee like a weapon. Mrs. Godfrey shook her head. We didn't have any reset last year. The HOA didn't exist last year, Carl muttered. The air was quiet. Everyone kept glancing at their phones. No service, no Wi-Fi. Then, from the far end of the street, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson came running. Don't read the letter, Mr. Johnson shouted. The words cut off in a gust of hot wind. When Daniel blinked, the Johnsons were gone. Their house, too, just gone, replaced by an empty lot covered in gray dust. No one screamed. They just stood there, unsure if the couple had ever existed. At 8:03 p.m., every light in the neighborhood shut off. The silence pressed down like a weight. Even the crickets stopped. Then came the hum, low, steady, rising from the soil. Claire clutched Lucy close. Outside, the ash started falling faster, glowing faintly under the faint moonlight. Daniel ran outside and saw Carl in the middle of the street, arms spread. Can you feel it? Carl whispered. The hum? It's under us. It's thinking. Get inside, Daniel shouted, but Carl didn't move. He smiled, too wide, too calm. It's not the HOA, it's us. Then his skin began to flake away like burnt paper. He didn't scream, he just crumbled piece by piece until there was nothing left but warm ash. Daniel stumbled back, choking. The hum pulsed harder. The next morning, the HOA sent a group text. Somehow. Mandatory community meeting. Attendance required. The community center was packed. Faces pale, eyes hollow. At the front stood Mr. Fallow, immaculate as ever in his pressed suit. My dear residents, he began, voice too smooth. The reset is a renewal process. Some properties have expired. This is natural. Where are the Johnsons? Mrs. Godfrey shouted. Fallow's smile didn't waver. Who? The crowd murmured. Daniel stood, shaking. You can't just erase people. Fallow's eyes found his. Erase? Oh no. We refine. The ash is the old you burning away. Behind him, the projector clicked on, showing aerial footage of the neighborhood. Only half the houses were visible. The others were just gray smudges. Phase 2, Fallow said, is emotional cleansing. Lights flickered. The walls seemed to breathe. Someone screamed as their reflection vanished from a window. The next days bled together. Mrs. Godfrey knocked on Daniel's door one morning, her hands trembling. They're whispering in my vents, she said. They say I wasn't chosen. Chosen for what? Daniel asked. To stay, she whispered, then looked past him and smiled. Oh, you've got a lovely daughter. Lucy wasn't home. Later, Daniel saw her wandering the street at dusk, humming to herself as the ash swirled around her. Her eyes looked hollow, like she was listening to something no one else could hear. Other neighbors began fading one by one. Carl's house emptied itself, furniture gone, doors wide open, echoing. The Jones twins left notes on everyone's porches scrawled in charcoal. It's not heaven, it's maintenance. By night, the hum under the earth became a heartbeat. The HOA trucks came and went silently, headlights off. Daniel couldn't take it anymore. He broke into the HOA clubhouse after midnight. The security door was warm to the touch. Beyond it was a stairwell that spiraled down endlessly, glowing faintly from within the walls themselves. At the bottom, a vast underground chamber. Rows of neighborhood models, miniature streets, houses and people, each one glowing faintly. Every few seconds, a model house turned black, then disintegrated into dust. Mr. Fallow stood before them, clipboard in hand. "You shouldn't be here, Daniel." "What are you doing?" Daniel demanded. "Resetting imperfections," Fallow said softly. "You asked for peace when you moved here. We're giving it to you." He turned, and when half his face was gone, flaking into the air. "What you call neighbors were just echoes of the system learning you." Daniel ran home, but Oak Valley wasn't there anymore. Houses were dissolving mid-air. Claire stood in the doorway, holding Lucy, both of them weeping ash. "It's okay," Claire said, her voice distant. "We're almost clean." The hum reached its peak, the sound of the earth breathing in. Lucy looked at Daniel and smiled faintly. "Daddy," she whispered. "Mr. Fallow said we'll be better after this." Then her skin cracked like porcelain, and she turned into gray mist that drifted away. Daniel screamed as the walls rippled and the neighborhood folded into itself. The sky tore open, not like fabric, but like paper on fire. And beneath it, Daniel saw an endless grid of other suburbs, identical copies, all glowing, all humming. He understood. Oak Valley wasn't a neighborhood. It was a simulation resetting itself, and this time it was deleting him. When Daniel opened his eyes, he was standing on a clean street again. The lawns were green. The sun was warm. New families moved into new houses. Children played. The HOA sign gleamed. Oak Valley Estates. Phase 2. Community now open, Mr. Fallow stood beside it, shaking hands. He turned on and smiled directly at Daniel. "Welcome home," he said. Daniel looked down. His hands were gray. His shadow was missing. The neighborhood's gone, but the HOA still sends letters. Maybe they're rebuilding, or maybe they're rebooting. Subscribe before the next reset begins.